right, I already screwed up. First time out of the gate, already messed it up because I'm trying different things, but that's what happens when you are trying new things. Hold on, let me get there. I don't know what's going on. Okay. I'm working with a new application, if you couldn't tell already. So, we are trying a different application today, testing it out, trying different stuff. Let me fix this because I'm not loving that spotlight view. There we go. Okay. So, you should see me in full screen. Okay. This is what we call Scrappy, by the way. 100% Scrappy. That's the only way that we can talk about this. So, got to say hey to everybody. We got Robin in the house. Hello. Good to see you. And yes, as Jennifer says from the Creator Classroom, it is time to get scrappy. And that is exactly what we are doing today because we are not using the application I normally use to go live today because I am kind of kicking the tires and giving another one a little bit of a test run, if you will. So I have barely played with it. Marianne, hello. Good to see you as well. Robin says she loved the intro. Well, I accidentally cut the intro off early. So that was my mistake. But, that's what happens. Okay, so what's up, James? Good to see you. Good to see you here. Okay, great. QA check looks crystal clear. Yeah, Doug and I have been talking about the output quality of this particular platform that I'm using that is not the same as the one I was using before. So anyways, good to see you. Hello. It's good to see everybody here. So like I said, actually first time using this application, which I'll talk about here in just a second, live. I've been kind of testing it a little bit. I've been doing some just playing around, but I've also honestly, I literally just started playing around with it today and I've barely had a chance to even scratch the surface. I'm kind of doing some comparisons to obviously StreamYard. As many of you know, I've been using StreamYard for years and years and years, but I wanted to try some new applications because I think it's just always good. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to talk a little bit about how do you know when it's time to explore changing applications. So, many of you use Canva, for example. Well, there's other applications out there that are a lot like Canva. Should you switch? Don't know. We're going to talk a little bit about that, about how you can decide if it's time to change platforms or change things up. Sometimes things happen. Things happen like price changes or feature changes or ownership changes that push us in a direction to maybe change things up a little bit. And I don't know for sure if I'm changing things up, but I am absolutely in a phase where I'm exploring my options when it comes to live streaming applications. And I know a lot of you really, really, really do rely on me to help you with those types of decisions. And I know a lot of you are StreamYard users. And if you have been living under a rock a little bit, then it could be that you aren't aware. So there have been some changes that StreamYard's recently announced. They announced some great new features, which is always exciting and fun, but they also announced a major change to their pricing structure, which is unfortunately probably going to affect many of you. If you are using StreamYard as far as like the paid plan or anything like that, you are probably going to be very, very, very heavily affected by this price change. And it's something that I feel responsible to make sure that I'm here helping advocate for you, because my number one priority is all of you, making sure that I'm able to give you what you need, offer the support, help you with the decisions you're making when it comes to the platforms, but also utilization of those platforms. And of course, the strategy of you putting yourselves out there. So if you're new to the channel and you're here hanging out for the first time, let me know. I haven't been live very often lately on my own channel, but that's about to change. I think I'm pretty excited about some things I'm working on and some things that are coming about. So without further ado, I will let you know that what's up, Aran? So Aran and I actually had our first conversation today. He is one of the founders, I believe, if that's not mistaken, of the platform that I'm using. And he's probably going to sit here and cringe the whole time I'm here because I am probably butchering the amount of features that EVMux has, and that is the platform I'm using today. Somebody said it earlier. Yep, there you go. So Robin's Egg Blue Creations, they said this looks like EVMux. Yes, it is. I am using EVMux today to go live and hang out with y'all. So that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, I am still getting to know the interface. So the interface is new to me. Oh, and my camera's been doing this today too. Hold on. This is not an EVMux issue. This is a Mel's camera issue for sure. So hang on a second. Let me see if I can get this fixed back in here for you. We're still here, everybody. Don't worry. We're still here. We are definitely still here. I am just, for some reason, my camera's got some setting issues that I couldn't figure out right before, and I was hoping it wouldn't do this, but it's going to do it to me now. Great. So hold on. I'm getting there. Let me fix this for you. This is not an EVMux issue. I promise. I promise. See, now I wish I had my Be Right Back thing. I don't have all my scenes set up in here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So here's the deal. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for still being here. That's probably going to happen again. I honestly have been having some weird issues with my Sony ZV-E10. I don't know if my daughter came in here and played with the settings on my camera. I'm not going to blame her, but something's weird and all the settings are all out of whack. And I also think that the dummy battery is maybe going bad because it's almost acting like the camera's on battery mode. And so it's timing out. And that's what's happening. And that was happening to me earlier when I was doing some stuff. And I was hoping it wouldn't happen to us today. But that's what happens. And you guys, as I always say, it's not a matter of if something's going to go wrong while you're live. It's a matter of when. So you absolutely have to just trust the process, keep your composure. And that's why the more you go live, the more you do these things, recovering you will learn your recoveries. There's a whole process of recovering. So today, I literally was like, I will say that was a little stressful merely because I literally I'm in a platform I'm not used to using. So that was a little stressful because of that. So that was not my most favorite recovery situation. So anyway, okay, here we go. Thank you again. Really appreciate you guys helping me out here and hanging out with me. So I saw that. So Aran is here and he is laughing because again, he's going to be butchered. He's going to be so like, Mel, you need to use this. You need to use that. And I am going to. So I am going to definitely be playing around with this application quite a bit because so far I'm really impressed with it. It is different. So anytime something's different, it can feel like maybe there's things you don't like. And it's merely because you have to get used to something new. So navigating the interface is something that I need to get used to. And so the more I do that, I'll be able to, I don't know, have a little more fun. So we're not going to do a lot. I'm not going to do a lot of production. I'm not playing with a lot of production today. You guys need to give me a little time on that. Like I said, I just started playing with the platform today. I will say this. I feel like EV Mux it's a step in between like a vMix or an Ecamm or even an OBS and a StreamYard or a Restream or some of the others that are out there. Like it's a step in between. It's simple enough that anyone can probably use it. However, you have to like not let a few things distract you. So if you love the simplicity of StreamYard, which is absolutely, in my opinion, probably StreamYard's like best feature is how simple the product is to use and how intuitive it is to use. It's extremely flexible and it's extremely like you can do things live on the fly. I mean, you can edit things in the middle of your stream. As you all know, you can have it open in multiple browsers. There's so many cool things about it, yet it's very simple. I will say the EV Mux is simple as long as you know how to keep it simple. That's what I'm seeing so far. And actually, in talking with Iran today, that's kind of what their goal is that they want to be able to make it simple for people who only want the simplicity. But then also they've added all kinds of really interesting features and options for features that will allow you, if you are one of those people that wants to take your production level to a whole new level, you absolutely can. And so I still have to get to know all that. And so that's where I'm at. So be patient with me. Give me some time. I'll probably create a few videos. I'll probably do some lives like I used to. I'll do some live hangouts and we'll figure this thing out together. So that's what I'll say. So it's always good to see you guys. Blinking It, you got to say hello to you. It's always great seeing you live, hanging out with us. And it is good. It's good to see you guys here over on my channel. So Robin says, the studio seemed fairly friendly, looked somewhat similar, loved the built-in sound effects. Yes, that is actually something that's very cool, is that they actually have sound effects built in that you can use. So you don't have to have an extra piece of hardware and you can upload your own sound effects. You can also, there's music in the studio as well, very similar to other applications. And you can actually put it in, this is really cool, you can put it in playlist mode. So there's 6 songs in there, I think. And if you just wanted you wanted it to just keep playing and go to the next song, go to the next song, go to the next song, you can turn on playlist mode. Or you can also upload your own music as well. So that's a very cool thing. So the thing that is probably going to be the most intriguing to me are the pro scenes. Now, this does require you to be on one of the paid plans. One of the things that I find impressive is you get a lot of amazing features on the free plan of EV Mux. You are going to have a watermarked logo in the corner, of course. That's natural. But a lot of generous features in the free plan, including 1080p, which is, I will say, already I can tell a much higher, it's a much closer 1080p signal than what some of the other platforms are using. So you may already notice, you may not notice, you may notice that this stream quality looks a little better than it has in the past. So I'm hoping that my camera doesn't do what it did a minute ago. It probably will. And if it does, bear with me. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. Okay, so literally just did it. Okay, hold on. I know what this is, and it's driving me crazy. We're gonna get it all fixed up. I think it's because my dummy battery is going bad. So I may actually just switch my cameras here in just a moment. If you guys want to give me a minute, I will do it. I think I'm going to. So probably going to switch cameras because I actually think something's bad with this dummy battery. And so it's making my camera time out because my camera is basically not doing anything. Like my camera doesn't think it's doing anything because it's not recording anything. It's just being used as the webcam. So I'll probably go ahead and activate this other camera and switch it up. So if you guys want to give me just a moment, that's probably what is it the HDMI? Honestly, I'm not totally sure because I've never had this happen before, and it just started doing it to me today. So kind of like one of those things. The audio should stick with us. So as long as I don't remove myself from the studio, the audio should stick with us. Just I'm going to run into this issue. So, yep. I'm going to go ahead and switch this camera up real quick, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to do it right now. So let me get my little thing back here. Actually, I'm going to edit this. Changing cameras. All right. So here's what I got. We're going to do this right now. Whoops. And then I'm going to play y'all a little music while I do this. How's that sound? Does that sound good? We're going to play a little music while I do it. Hang on. Sit tight. Okay, I think I'm not used to this. I had to literally move this camera, switch it over, and it is on the wobbly thing. So it's actually my Sony A6100, and it is much higher than I want it to be, but we're gonna go with it. It's also just a tad crooked, but hey, oh, now it's really crooked. Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Okay, this is what you do. This is recovery. This is probably the hardest recovery I've had to do in a really long time. But hey, it's part of it, right? We shouldn't have this issue anymore. It was a green line first. That's why. Okay. Loman Creative Services. I love it when you guys jump in and start helping me out. It is like my favorite thing in the world. So I appreciate it. So here's the deal. I honestly am not sure because I recently changed one of my capture cards. I moved from, I was using the Rode Streamer X, and I actually got, because I buy too much gear. Anyway, I bought the Elgato 4K, the Capture 4K. So it's this guy right here, actually, that's not functioning at all. It's this thing. And I got it, and it's easy. It's nice and small, and it's nice and simple. And I 100% have had no problems with it. But then today I started, there was some weird things. And again, I'm not sure if it's something on my camera settings that got changed up, but regardless, I will say this is the benefit of having another camera that is literally hooked up and ready to go. So all I did was I actually switched my, I pulled the A6, I pulled it, the the ZVE10 out of the Camlink, because I have a Camlink as well, and I just plugged the A6100 into the Camlink, and I scooched it way over. So again, not the best positioning, but it is what it is. Okay. All right, good. Your video is clear. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay. So here's the deal. Here's really what I wanted to talk about today. Again, I am going to do some testing and some demoing, and I'm going to definitely come to you guys with some really cool stuff. I am very excited about EV Mux. I think it's very promising. I already have some notes. I already have some things that I'm going to be sending to that team, as some feedback. They've asked me for it. And I'm really excited for an opportunity to just chime in and provide my opinion, right? But already, I will tell you guys that I think that I was feeling like I was ready for something different anyway. And so the timing of all this is very interesting. And I think it's very serendipitous. Just one of those people that I kind of just feel that way. And that's kind of what I believe in. So I definitely think that this will be a really good opportunity and good timing for me to explore other platforms, give you guys my opinions about them. I'm not being paid by EV Mux. I'm exploring all these things, and I've absolutely told them I would give them my feedback. And hey, you never know, maybe there's going to be some fun collaborations down the road, but I have no idea. It's just too early to tell right now. But I will absolutely be letting you guys know of these cool features that you guys can be using, because I really do think that it makes a lot of sense for a lot of you, especially a lot of you that are doing different types of streams where you do have two cameras, and you want to be able to, do a quick switch and change things up. And it looks really intriguing and really promising. But at the same time, if you decide to switch or change applications, and this is the case with any application, you are absolutely going to have to be patient, both with yourself, but also with the application, because it's going to be new to you. And there's going to be a lot of things that are just different. And so you may feel like you don't like something, but it might just be because it's different to you. It's a change. And so don't be afraid of change. That's why I say you got to be patient with it, because you may not like a version of or what they've done with something. You're like, oh, it was better on the other application. Well, maybe it was better just simply because that's what you're used to. So again, have an open mind, be patient with it, and be patient with yourself as you go through the process. What is really cool is you can still practice with any of these streaming applications, and EVMux is no different. You can just set up a session, as it's called in EVMux, is basically going to have the destination be an unlisted YouTube video. That's what I personally like to do. I used to use Facebook groups to do practices and stuff, but there's really no point in that. So as long as you've got a YouTube account, then when you go set up your session, and I'm not going to do any live tutorials today because my gosh, this stream's already been shaky enough. Let's not add any more possibilities of it going down or problems. But you can, set up a session and then set your destination to YouTube and make sure you select unlisted. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to, practice with the interface, but then go back and watch how it looks and how you sounded and all those things. So that's how I already knew that the quality is superior to what I'm used to. And that was something that was it was starting to bother me a little bit. I was starting to kind of get frustrated that I could not get a better quality in my videos, because it didn't used to matter so much. It didn't used to matter so much because everybody was streaming in like 720. And if you had 1080, it was like you stood out. But now the quality that's out there is just increasing and increasing. The quality of the webcams is massively changing. More people are using higher end cameras to stream. Now, if you're not one of those people, that's completely fine. I'm just saying, for me as a content creator, coaching people how to create content, I felt a little bit of a pressure that I needed to be able to have a little bit of a higher output signal, and I wanted to. But as I always say, you don't have to have this crazy quality anything. I mean, there are people out there that are streaming with like built-in webcams on their laptops and the quality is terrible, but they are making great content and connecting with their audience, and they are growing their channels, and they are massively successful. So it's all good. What's up, Pamela Pix? Good to see you here, hanging out. U-Haul says they're using their phone. Honestly, I mean, you guys, I have made some videos with my phone for Doug's brother recently, and I'm like, why would you use a ZVE 10? Why would you use one of those out there when, if you have the right app and the right stuff, you can make some really amazing videos with just your phone? So yeah, exactly. Marianne says, does EVMux have a free trial? Yes. In fact, well, okay, hold on. Let me back up a second. A free trial, not 100% sure. I'd be happy to look, but they do have a free plan. Marianne, the free plan is fantastic. It's got all kinds of stuff. You can't do some stuff, but like you can still stream in 1080 and you can get a general feel for the interface. The biggest thing that you probably would be limited on that you'll want to explore would be the pro scenes. So the pro scenes are, I'm going to have to figure out how I want to describe them to everybody, because if you've, those of you that are StreamYard users or even Restream or others, scenes is going to be a new concept to you. And so think of it like the custom layouts, but with more. Like you can make it so that it plays, a video automatically. There's a number of things that you can do. So it's taking that custom layout, but then adding some automation in there that you weren't able to do with just custom scenes or custom layouts before. So I am absolutely going to do some sort of comparison video that's going to say, here, you're used to this terminology from this application, and if you want to use EVMux, then this is your new terminology. Here's the way that they transfer, if you will. So definitely planning on some stuff like that. But some of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, and if you guys have questions for me, it is a live Q&A today. So feel free to post your questions. You know the drill, put a Q in front of it so that I can see it and differentiate it from the other comments. I did notice also that there is a starred comments feature inside EV Mux as well. Again, I can start the comment, but I don't know how to get to it. So to get to the queue. So it's all good, but we're good. Thank you. So Robin just put the stuff up there. So there's your pricing. That's EV Mux pricing right there. And you definitely want to check that out. But you can absolutely try and play around when you are in that free trial. You're going to be able to get a good feel for the interface. There is a dark mode and a light mode to choose from as well. So you'll probably like that too. Marianne says, I do thrive when learning something new. Honestly, I do as well. I really enjoy tinkering around, and I was ready for something new to tinker with. So this is interesting where we are. So I don't know where things are going to go moving forward. There's Aran with an answer for you guys. So he says, we also offer a 7-day free trial on any plan you subscribe to, the annual option, and you won't be charged if you cancel before the 7th day. There you go. So you can absolutely try it out for 7 days. And if you then want to downgrade, you can downgrade and you're good to go. So there's your answer for that one for sure. Okay. I see your question, Stuart. I'll get to that in just a moment. So here's the deal. I wanted to talk about this a little bit, and I think I am going to actually also record a video that talks about the same thing. But I think that there's a few things to keep in mind when you're thinking about changing, a tool or an application, whether it be something you've been using very loyally for a really long time, or you're still trying to figure out what you want to do. I think that it's, one of those things where I think that there is absolute power in stability, meaning you just not letting new things or changes distract you. I think it's extremely important that you get to a place of momentum, and momentum creates more momentum. And if you're always changing or exploring or learning or tinkering you won't get momentum. And so it's very important for you to make sure that you can get some momentum and then almost like put things on cruise control while you try other things, right? So the other thing I want to say is bright, shiny object syndrome is a real thing. And if you're always flip-flopping around and trying new things, you aren't going to get that momentum, right? Here's the other thing I want to say. Sometimes there's seasons in your life, your business, your content creation journey where you don't need momentum. It's actually okay for you to be flopping around and trying new things. But then there's times when you don't want to be doing that. So for example, if you are launching a program, so a lot of you have online courses or you have programs you sell, and you go through seasons where you only promote those things during a certain time, right? That's not the time to be changing things up. You don't want to be changing things up because and especially those of you that have teams, maybe you have producers that help you, you have to learn a whole new workflow. You got to learn a whole new workflow. Plus, there is a time commitment to learning a new platform. So for example, especially with streaming, one of the things that I'm going to have to spend a lot of time is basically bringing my assets into EV Mux so that I can utilize them, but also at the same time, learning those new features, learning these features that are new to me, and how do I implement those, right? So, and as many of you know, that takes time and it takes energy. And so you need to be able to recognize when is an appropriate time in your journey to be exploring new options. And again, there's lots of things that motivate us to make changes. And that's the other thing I want to talk about is what is motivating you to make a change. Is it that you're, I'll say this. Is it truly that you're dissatisfied with what you're using and that you see something else that might be a better fit and you want to see? Great. Is it because the features are limiting you and you're ready to take the next level up? As there are multiple levels. There's super basic, beginner level style platforms and applications. And then there's pro level, applications. A lot of these applications, and even if it's Canva or other stuff, it's freemium software. There's a free plan, and then there's paid features as you elevate your usage. So it has to fit your budget too. And that's the other thing is sometimes price changes or just changes to the platform that you aren't satisfied with anymore, or even changes to the culture of the company or the way they support you, or the community that's there. A lot of these applications have Facebook groups and communities, and maybe you're just ready for something different. So that could be the case. And there's many, many different things that motivate us. But sometimes those motivating factors aren't crucial and they don't need to be a priority, right? And then other times they do need to be a priority. And I think that that's what we're going to see when I am not going to badmouth StreamYard. I am not going to put them down. I did find their price change to be very alarming. And I was shocked, to be honest with you. I am hopeful that they have a product roadmap that aligns with that pricing strategy. But I am certain that they are aware that they are going to lose a lot of people because a lot of people quite simply just can't afford the new price structure. So, or they don't want to afford the new price structure. Maybe the value is not matching that price structure. So again, if that's you and you're like, I can't keep paying these rates. Well, then you have a motivating factor that has become a priority. And so you have to be able to weigh these things out because you're always going to have an option. There are always going to be multiple options for anything we're using, whether it be gear and equipment or software applications, subscriptions, memberships, anything. There are always options. You're always going to be having this possible conversation with yourself. Should I switch it up? Should I change it up? Now, some of you have businesses attached to some of the applications or tools or equipment, things that you use, right? So, Marianne, you teach productivity. I'm not 100% sure if you teach on specific platforms and that is essentially an asset to your business. For example, if you're using, I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't know what you use, Marianne, but Monday.com. And that's what you teach people how to use Monday.com to, build productivity in their lives. Well, then Monday.com is a very important piece of software for you. And you're not going to want to be flipping and flopping all around all the time because it's literally what you teach. Jennifer with the Career Classroom, Canva, she teaches Canva. It's literally what she does. And so she's obviously very aware, I'm sure, of other, platforms out there that are very similar. But yet her whole entire, her platform is based on teaching Canva. So it's unlikely that she would change. Now, there's multiple reasons why you would not want to change. And then there's multiple reasons why you would change. So you have to think about all these things. However, if you're a person that it's not truly critical, then I always want to encourage you to stay with where you are until you hit a season or a point where you have the energy and the time to explore the other options, because change is going to take time and energy. It absolutely is. And so sometimes we're forced to make those changes and sometimes it's optional. So you got to weigh a few of those things out. Now, the last thing I just want to say is sometimes people are always exploring things and they're trying to find the perfect thing. That's like people that are always in planning mode. I'm planning. I'm getting ready to get ready. I'm getting ready to launch. I'm getting ready to get ready to launch. Just launch, just go, just click, go live and start creating content. So I think if you're one of those people you got to listen to yourself and you got to be real honest with yourself, because sometimes changing stuff or looking at changes is really just you distracting yourself, you choosing a distraction. Kind of like sometimes when I need to work on a project and I really don't want to. So it's a really good time for me to go do yard work or go clean my house. I'm pretty sure I don't love to clean my house, but I do it because I'm busy and I convince myself and I tell myself that it's going to be something productive to do and I'm going to, make strides. But yet all I'm doing is putting off that thing I need to do, right? And so it can be the same when you're always looking for the perfect tool to help you grow your business or help you grow your channel or help you launch your live for the first time or help you go record your podcast for the first time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Robin says, I feel attacked. It happens to all of us, right? I can speak to this because I've done it, right? I can speak to this because I have been right there with you. So I totally understand and I 100% get it. So you have to listen to yourself. Is that what's happening? And if it is, you just got to get off of it. Okay. All right. So live Q&A. Stuart had a question for me. It's the only question I think I saw so far. Let me see. Let me go back up and find it real quick. Okay. He says, how does it compare to scenes on OBS or Ecamm? So it's very similar. The concept the concept, Stuart, is extremely similar. And what I mean by that is it utilizes layers. So there are layers of media and content and things that you put together just like a scene in OBS or Ecamm, and that is how you're creating it. So that's what makes it different than just the custom layouts over on some of the other platforms. It's actually layers of information. So, you can make it where your webcam is there, but the layer on top of it is a video that's going to play first. And after that video is done, it's going to go away, and the next layer that's going to be there is going to be you and your face, right? So there's all kinds of things you could do. Again, I have not really played around with it, and even my utilization of OBS is very simple and very limited as well. But that's how it's very similar to, and then you just click on each scene, and as you click on each scene, it's going to restart those layers. So whatever your layers are doing, that's the sequence that's going to happen in those scenes. And so, yes, it's very similar. So if you have dabbled with Ecamm or vMix or OBS, then this concept of scenes is going to be easier for you to probably grasp and hit the ground running versus somebody who's never used a platform that has that next layer or level of production value, honestly. So, and complexity. So now the other thing too, when it comes to, vMix I've not used vMix, but vMix is similar. Like it uses layers. So very similar. Now the difference between, OBS is obviously freeware. So it's an open source platform. So it's free. There's good and bad things about that. OBS is also can be really complicated. There's so much to it. It does feel, the other thing when you have something like an OBS, you can go watch a million YouTube videos and it's great, but like there's nothing like walking you through the platform. A lot of these software-based platforms have little things that walk you through stuff, like the little tutorial as you kind of get going, right? It's like, and that's one of those things. Marianne is actually totally hitting on the point I was going to make next, is that applications like Ecamm, vMix, OBS, they require more CPU usage. So you can't just have a basic computer. You are going to need to have a beefier computer in order for those programs to work successfully. So now most computers, a lot of new computers, if you're getting an actual computer, not just like a Chromebook or something, then you are probably going to be okay as long as you don't have a lot of other stuff on your computer as well. So again, it does require more bandwidth. It requires more. So you are going to run into that. I do think that EVMux probably requires a little more from a resource. It has a little bit more of a resource pull than some of the lighter applications like StreamYard and others, but it doesn't seem to be causing any problems for my computer or causing any issues. Now, I have a pretty beefy computer. Oh, I felt like a spider was crawling on me. I hope it wasn't one. That's happened before. Let's hope that wasn't what that was. I'm checking. But yeah, so there's so many things to consider when it comes to what's the right fit for you. But I will say I had a really nice conversation with Iran earlier today, and he explained things really well. He gave me the background. They started this application because they used to be in events, and when the pandemic hit, all the events obviously stopped, and so everything went virtual. So they wanted to make a really cool platform that supported this event industry. And so there are some things in the application that I do kind of notice that's geared a little around events. Like there's some stuff where I'm like, well, why is that necessary? Like you can add speakers, like you can save speakers, and I'm not 100% sure what the purpose of that is, but it does make sense when you think about like virtual events. So like, actual presenters and multiple people coming in and doing segments and sessions and things. So there's definitely that. Bosset Live is here. What's up? It's always good to see Janine coming in and hanging out with us live. Okay, so Janine, I'm using EVMux. I know you're wondering what the heck's going on. So I'm just trying it out, testing it out. It's the first time going live with it with an actual audience, and today's the first day I've dabbled with it. So lots to learn. We are good. We had a little bit of a rough start, tech-wise, not because of EVMux, because of something going on with my camera. But anyway, So yeah, so we just talked about things to think about when it comes to switching platforms and changing things up. Oh, I got distracted. What I was saying is that Iran was telling me the background, but then he also said something that I really loved. I really loved it, and it got me excited. And he said that they understand that there's a streamer out there. There are content creators out there that don't need a bunch of bells and whistles, and they like to keep things simple, just relatively light, right? No need for all the crazy stuff. And so what they've done is they've created they call them dynamic scenes. And essentially what it is as you use it, and any of you that try this, even just go sign up for the free plan, you will be able to see this. Dynamic scenes are essentially very similar to what you're probably used to, a set of layouts, and you just click on those things, and then you have layers of content that you can still click and turn on and turn off, including music and sound effects that come, and they are included. There are banners, and then of course there's comments. All of that stuff is still there. But then you can go into another section of the studio called Pro Scenes, and that's where you can just really go custom. And there's also another segment in the user interface that are called apps and widgets. And this was something that I got really excited about, because I think that the vision of this product for EV Mux is that they want to be able to, for people who want it to stay simple, they can keep it simple. But then those who want to be adding capabilities or adding things like live polling, giveaway, using the giveaway tool that they've developed. If you're doing Christian streams, you can actually add the Bible to your stream. There's now like stock tickers and financial tickers. They have plans to add more. These will be kind of like you can build your own, or you can go from the marketplace that they've built. Very similar if you think about Elgato. Those of you that use the Stream Decks, there's the marketplace, right? And when I say marketplace, I think that almost all those things are free, but you can add these profiles by just clicking something that someone else has developed. And OBS, has a similar type of thing as well. So very similar, but like if you don't want to mess with that stuff, you don't have to. But if you do want to add those things to your studio, you have the option to add them. And so I thought that was really cool. But they're kind of building this thing. They have this foundation that they've built, and they're building it in a way where they can be adding to it without making it too complicated. Because that is truly the balance. It's even the balance with me. It's actually why I don't want to use Ecamm or vMix or even OBS, because I don't want all that complication. I literally will look at someone when they are showing their screen with their Ecamm open, and I literally am like, oh, like no interest whatsoever. Like none, zero interest in that. And it's like, forget it. I just don't want all that complication and stuff. So I do like how they are making it so that we can keep it as simple as we want, but we can also add some of these cool features. So I think it's great. It sounds like a really promising future for the application. So certainly excited to be, dabbling in it. They got started after other applications were started. So they were able to take some ideas that were already out there, recycle those ideas. I won't dare say steal those ideas, because they're all recycling from each other. And, but they're taking what they've learned, but they're also making it their own. And I think that's definitely, from what I see so far, it's a differentiator for this product for sure. So I'm excited to check those things out and try it out. Let's see. V Team Paranormal says, how come on the core plan? Oh, you're talking about StreamYard. The core plan price of $45 a month, I'm unable to have a second camera, only on the professional plan. So the second camera for StreamYard has always only been on the professional plan. It's only been on the professional plan. However, all of the prices just went up. So the professional plan used to be $49 a month. It is now much higher than that. And the core plan has basically replaced the basic plan, and it is now $45 a month versus the 25 it used to be, or 20 it used to be. So the professional plan, that second camera has always been on the professional plan. It's just that the prices all just went up, unfortunately. I can tell you that EV Mux has a second camera option as well. I'm not 100% sure which plan it's included on. I guess I could look. And it's actually, it's got the option to turn the audio on and turn the audio off of it. So I thought that was genius because it sounds really intriguing. If you think about this, well, why would you need the second audio? Well, what if I wanted to create a scene with this camera? But then what if I have like, well, I do have a bar over there. Those of you that know, I weirdly have a bar inside this office because it's built in. It's a built-in bar, so it's right there. I didn't build the house, but I could literally set up a camera with a microphone right over there, and I could be like, all right, I'm going to go to the bar, and we're going to take this over to the bar. And I could go to a different scene that is called bar scene, and it just automatically switches everything over to that camera and microphone. So pretty cool. So the second camera is not just limited to having two cameras displayed at the same time or switching from like a bird's eye view to you on screen. They've taken it and made it so you can actually utilize it either like that or utilize it in other ways. So I thought that was really interesting and very, very intriguing as well. Dave says, just left StreamYard a few days from now on. Yeah, I think EV Mux, Irene and I talked about that today too. I said, I hope you guys are ready because I think a lot of people are going to be changing things up. Like I said, again, I'm not bad mouthing StreamYard. There's probably all kinds of reasons that they are making the changes that they're making, but they're not stupid. So they absolutely know that they're eliminating themselves as an option for a lot of their users. So I am certain that they're expecting a massive change in their user base. And maybe they're just changing their target user. Maybe they're changing it to a different type of user that is able to spend more money. And maybe they have some things that they're doing on the back end where they need that change in finances. It could be all kinds of things, guys. It could be all kinds of things. But I don't know what the goal is. I don't know what the roadmap is. It's not been shared with me, so I can't answer those questions. But it is just good timing to try new things. And I really wish my camera wasn't shaking, and I'm so sorry that it is, but it's on that weird tripod. Okay, so I was going to check out this pricing. So it looks like the extra camera, I'll just share my screen really quickly. All right. So pricing looks like, again, comparable to what you all are used to if you're using one of the other platforms. It looks like so this is something that's interesting too. This goes back to the whole event. It's being this platform was essentially built with the event people in mind. So Push to Talk is it's actually a feature that allows you to have a backstage producer talking to whoever's presenting or anyone else. And it's kind of like what the news people do when they're like, they're like, oh, this just in, and they like touch their ear and they're listening. It's a producer in their ear. Producers are in there. I don't know if any of you watch the morning show on Apple TV, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's really pretty cool. That's in the free plan. I mean, but that is something where many of you be like, well, why would I ever need that? Well, when you need to be like, hey, you got to wrap it up. We only have 1 minute left. You got to wrap this up. If you're doing an actual show that is timed and has a workflow and has a show flow to it, that's a pretty cool feature. So that was something I thought was really clever that, again, just it's not what you see in most of these applications. So I thought that was really fun. Apps and widgets is in the free plan. Let's see. Multi-stream, lower thirds, banners integrated. Where does it say second camera? Multiple cameras. There you go. So yeah, so it's in the pro plan as well. So in order to have that extra camera, you would need to be on EV Mux's pro plan as well. So there it is. And it says you can use up to 3 different cameras, which is pretty cool. So very, very good. Very similar in features, but again, more features, quite frankly, over here in the EV Mux platform. So yeah, let's see. I thought I saw. Yeah, Jennifer says, and she's referring to StreamYard. Unfortunately, they are making the small budget creator basically priced out. I mean, it is true. I mean, it's essentially what's going to happen. And again, they are not silly. They're not stupid. They know that. And I do believe that they predicted some negativity out there. And I think that they are trying to manage that. And I hope that they get it all figured out. I really do. StreamYard was has been an amazing platform for me. I still love the platform. I wish the output was higher quality. I love the platform. I love how easy it is to use. I truly love how you can do things on the fly right in the middle of your stream that I'm not sure I can do with EVMux yet, but I haven't tried it out yet enough to know. So, but I also am intrigued by the development, the roadmap of this particular platform, EVMux. So if you're just now joining me like Tish is with the Artist Haven, then you need to know that I am basically using EVMux today to go live. And that's what we're trying. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so Jennifer says, okay, when you share screen, can you move your camera to the left side since that lower right sometimes covers important things? You can if you use the Pro Scene Builder. So you can basically, well, maybe you can do I think in order to create these the custom layouts that you would want, you need to be in the Pro Scene Builder. But I haven't played enough. There's a plus sign right here, and when I click on the plus sign, it wants me to create a Pro Scene. So I'm assuming it's a Pro Scene Builder. So you can do that. You also can round the corners. So if you wanted your webcam in that view to be, let's say you wanted it to be a circle, like my webcam, if you wanted it to be a circle, you can, in your Pro Scene Builder, you can edit that and make those different. I will say StreamYard is releasing camera shapes, and ironically, I don't have the new features yet in my my regular account, but I do have it in I'm in the StreamYard team account, and it's in there. It's super easy and it's really intuitive, and I was pretty impressed that it's literally in your brand tab. You just click, yep, I want my webcam to now be a circle, and you click it and it makes it a circle, which I would only recommend you do when you're in a screen share mode. That's it. I wouldn't do that when you're not in a screen share mode because it looks a little silly. But again, pretty intuitive. Again, intuitive and simple. So, but yeah, I believe you have to just do a pro scene, Jennifer. But I don't know 100% sure on that. I will be playing around with that stuff to figure it out. One thing I did like that I thought was really cool. So U-Haul, just so you know, EVMux, you get 1080 in the free plan. So you get 1080 in the free plan. And it's better. It's better quality. Yeah. Marion says, I don't have any of the new features yet either. I don't know who does. I'm not sure. I think I have dark mode and that's it. I don't have any of the other stuff. So whatever. Okay. Let's see. Robin says, I don't mind the powered by logo, especially if the product/platform rocks. Yeah, I mean, a free plan, your downside is going to be you're going to have that watermarked logo in your free plan whenever you're using a free plan, really with anybody's stuff. Yeah, so Tish says, she says, I tried EVMux when it first came out, kind of clunky back then, but I was keeping my eye on it as an alternative. Yeah. Anytime a platform is brand new, it's probably going to have bugs and things. And I've noticed a couple quirky things so far, right? But I will say that they were like, give us your feedback, give us all the feedback you can. And so I liked that. I liked that they want feedback. They want to hear it. And, heck, all platforms are going to have quirky things or bugs or things that happen from time to time. And it's just one of those things. Oh, so if you change to the new plan, you got the new features. That's weird. That's a weird way to roll out updates, but okay. Yeah. So yeah. So, I don't, again, I'm not, it's like I told Iran today, give me some time to play around with things, like see how I feel about it. Really intrigued by EVMux, very intrigued by it so far. I definitely think that it'll be I mean, I can't imagine why I wouldn't enjoy using it. So I just got to get used to it. So like I said, anytime you're making a change to anything, you have to give yourself patience, but you have to give the platform patience too. So you got to be patient with it because it's new to you, and then give yourself patience as you learn the new stuff. But you got to spend some time with it. You got to spend the time to explore the new options. And I will tell you, there will be all kinds of people that won't switch from StreamYard. They'll pay the double the price or more than that because they don't have the time or the energy to make the change, and so they won't. And they're in a position where they can do it, and that's great. Good for them, right? Good for them. I personally feel very responsible, because it's what you all rely on me for, very responsible to make sure that I am exploring alternatives, because that's what you guys are going to be wanting to do as well. And so I'm going to try to make that easier for you, keep that learning curve simple. I will be trying a couple more platforms as well, just to kind of see. I have tried a few of them in the past. I was not impressed at all whatsoever. Maybe just like Tish said about EV Mux, maybe things have changed and it's come a long way. So I'll definitely do that. So I will definitely be checking those things out and giving you guys my honest opinion. Because at this point, I think I'm fairly agnostic when it comes to what platforms I'm using. So I'm always going to try to find the best ones for you. There's going to be pros and cons to all of them, including StreamYard. StreamYard is still a great platform. It's a fantastic platform, but it's changed because it now costs more. And that's something that I know is going to affect many of you. So I'm here for you to figure it all out. I'm going to give this stream an end at this point. I apologize that we had the camera clunkiness. I will get that figured out. Man, that's frustrating. And thanks for bearing with me and sticking with me while I got that figured out. And thanks for hanging out with me while I'm on my shaky camera, because my desk is the tripod I'm using is actually it's got an arm that comes up from the desk, and then it has two swivels. And that's what makes it a little wiggly, is that it's got these swivels, but it also makes it pretty cool because I can like change it and move it around. I can pivot it down to make it a bird's eye view, but it makes it a little wobbly. But it was that swivel saved the day, because I was able to swivel it over and stick it right in front of me and switch it up so that we're using that webcam instead of the other one, because I got to figure out what's going on with the other camera. So I do think it's the dummy battery. I think the dummy battery is going bad, but I will also check out the HDMI, because somebody earlier, Loman Creative Services, was like, maybe it's the cable. So I'll definitely be doing some troubleshooting. That's for sure. Well, I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm actually going to end with my thanks for watching pro scene that I made. And really all it is I'm just clicking on it and it has the video right there. And we'll be done with this one today. Until next time, but keep hanging out, because I'll be back. I'll be back again pretty soon, hopefully with some more updates on what I think about EV Mux. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good night and have a good week. See ya.